Power Ranger video games are something that's kind of on the wayside when it comes to the franchise. It's made some decent games. The very first MMPR one, which was different depending on what console you owned, but not a lot of effort was put in this area. Even Super Sentai had crummy video games for a while. That Famicom Zyuranger one was not fun. And the Famicom produced RPG gems in its time. It's not a technical issue, it's more of a drive issue. So many companies worked on these games. Natsume, Nova, Bandai Namco, and others long gone. There's no plan, so we get games that do whatever. Sometimes they follow the show, other times they rip off other games. They grab onto what was popular at the time. I can count on my hand the games that are genuinely good. The first MMPR game, MMPR Fighting Edition, Power Rangers SPD, Power Rangers Super Legends, and Legacy Wars. Each of these came up with something decent, but there's a lot of other games that were just to make money. Thank you, Alvin Batista, for the idea. If you like to leave a suggestion or a topic, leave a comment down below. I might pick it one day.
Power Rangers Time Force.
I really didn't want to put this on the list. It tries things. We even get to go through time better than what the show did. They even got most of the actors to do their roles.
Rangers, the Time Villains have traveled back here to the 21st century. You must defeat and capture them before they damage the timeline.
My army of Cyclobots will see to you. Attack, my children!
The game is just too clunky and buggy. Plays kind of like Crash Bandicoot. Clock Tower acts as a hub world, letting you travel through 7 different time periods. Your goal is to unlock the Quantum Ranger, so you can only play as Eric basically when you beat the game. You do get to play as some of the Megazords, but most are locked in the 2-player mode. For some stupid reason, the game's music is way too loud by default. The Ranger powers are controlled by these charging stations, so you have to constantly go back and forth. They don't use their main weapons, they don't even use their Matrix move. What is up with PR games and missing sidearms? It's just as stupid as those Wolverine games that hurt you when you use his claws.
Power Rangers Dash.
You can't expect too much from a mobile game, but this game is a really low bar for the series. While it's cute with its chibi character models of the Rangers and Megazords, all it is running. Run automatically from left to right, running over monsters, beating times, and unlocking characters. There's no real challenge. It gets boring very quickly. The company did do its research, gave them power-up items based on the show, each Ranger had their correct weapons, but the monsters they run over are just generic. What's up with PR video games and not wanting to make the monsters from the shows? That's a goldmine of designs. Just use the minions if you have to.
Power Rangers Zeo Full Tilt Battle Pinball.
It's a pinball game, not much else. They probably got the idea from Sonic's Pinball. It has around 5 stages taking place in the US, Asia, Africa, Europe, and the North Pole, which is where King Mondo is located. Why didn't they just make a space-themed table for Mondo? You do get monsters from the show, Hosehead, Staroid, Leaky Faucet. Why make this? You could do so much more with a Power Rangers game, especially on PS1, but they decided to do a pinball game. Is it so hard to do another fighting game? 2D fighting games were very popular on PS1 at the time. They could easily made a sequel to the Fighting Edition. It'd be higher resolution, a ton more monsters throughout the 4 seasons. No, we end up getting pinball. The only reason why this is on PS1 is for the FMVs.
Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
This game was oddly made on Game Boy Advance and Windows. The Windows version most people don't even know exists. If it was made today, it would have been a mobile game. It's just a bunch of random minigames. Very low budget, 2D stuff. The underground base serves as a game hub. Match the items, get all the flags, a breakout clone.
Yay! A bonus! Incoming! I claim this flag in the name of the Power Rangers.
What's annoying? This PR game got Grant McFarlane and Sally Martin to do voice work for it. Of all PR games, this gets actors?
Welcome, Ninja. If you have never played before, type in your name. This is Ninja Ops. Here you will select your training assignments. When you have completed all of them, only then will you be ready for your mission.
Work on your hand-eye coordination.
Very repetitive. It's probably the most disconnected Power Rangers game from the series done. Never go near this. Forget I mentioned it.
I claim this flag in the name of the Power Rangers.
Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Power Rangers has a lot of stuff. Suits, weapons, Zords, Morphers. You can make all types of games. How would you like to play a video game that just has the Zords?
Good work. It's time to get the Tyrannosaur powered up. There are 3 power cells scattered around the tar pits. Grab all of them to fully power Tyrannosaurs.
That's basically Dino Thunders. Your job is to locate DNA samples to unlock and find each of the DT Zords. It's like a combination of Jurassic Park, Evolution, and Godzilla. I kind of get where they were going for. Lots of people like Godzilla. Let's do something like that. But I want to play as Connor and everyone else. This would be fun as in-between levels, not a whole game. I will give them that they did good animation on all the Zords. They act like animals. No actors from the show, so we get to hear another fake Tommy.
Fantastic! You've released Tyranno's ground stomp attack.
Look for bones, get power-ups, unlock Zords, repeat. Also, somehow Tommy has control over invisiportals. Okay. As a fun bonus, you unlock the Ninja Storm and Wild Force Zords. Yay!
Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue.
I remember the Lightspeed game was pushed heavily. You saw it on everything. The N64 cart was black color. Most kids alone would want it for that. I fell for that. But the game itself is bupkis. The cutscenes are done in this really ugly comic book style. Characters aren't drawn right. Each one has limited colors. This is not an N64 problem. They could have made 3D cutscenes. It just didn't. There's no sounds except the theme song, and they go and put this Star Trek-like transporter noise every time something pops up. I guess they were forced to do this since the cutscenes would be dead quiet. No one from the show voiced anything for the game.
Yellow Ranger, ready for action.
The menu was lazy. They just ripped off Fox Kids CGI bumper ads. The comic doesn't care about terminology. Pyro Rescue 1 is just fire truck. The first mission is you throwing yellow energy to clean up goo. You never use your blaster or directly fight. Mission 2 is you using Pyro Rescue to take out fires. Pyro 1 doesn't have water cannons on the front. They could have used Hydro Rescue 2 for that. You put out the fires by blowing them up. I love that the cars have voices.
He's dead, Jim.
The Megazord fight isn't any better. Instead of pulling monsters from the series like they did with the Fighting Edition, Rescue Megazord fights a monster. You're basically stuck fighting him with rockets. Most of the game is just variation on these 3 levels. Saving people on foot, changing the Zord for the road mission. At least it makes sense the second time. More Megazord fights using Max, Solar, and Omega a few times, with one new mission using Aero Rescue 3 to pick up all this to find titanium power coins to rescue the Titanium Ranger. You can easily blow through the game in under an hour. Just look at this picture and count how many errors are on it. That's how good this game is.
Yay! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie.
Another one of those games that plays differently depending on what console you got it on. It's your traditional beat-em-up side-scroller like Double Dragon. You get to play as the 6 Rangers from MMPR Season 3. The digitized cast photos on the menu select are all wrong for starters. They go and use old ones from the original 3. Tommy's is from Season 1. Kim and Billy's are worse. They're from the first pilot. I don't know what happened here. It really didn't do much. Most of it isn't even based off the movie. It has 7 levels. The first 5 are just stuff taken from the TV series. We fight different colored Z-Putties, not the Tengus. 5 of the bosses are from Season 2. The 6th is made up for the game. Only the last boss is Ivan Ooze. The Rangers aren't in their movie suits either. The worst thing about this game is the way they restrict you. To morph, you have to build up this power meter, so you have to go through most of the level as a civilian. It makes it very boring. You're just punching and kicking, dodging cars. And it doesn't even matter. Once you get to the boss, you automatically morph. Why couldn't they make the game let you use the suit at any time? Maybe allow us at least call our weapons the Blade Blaster or main weapons? There is a cheat code that lets you start out in the suit, but it's a cheat code. The game doesn't have Zord fights, so it has less content than the first MMPR game.
Power Rangers Zeal Battle Racers.
This was just a cash grab through and through. Bandai wanted to capitalize on the whole Mario Kart craze that happened on Super Nintendo, so they copied it. Some stages are really similar. Heck, the Cog Squid card uses the engine noise from F-Zero. The thing I always found dumb, this is a racing game, right? Now, what season would have made more sense? I wonder, The game has various cars and bikes. Mondo is playable too. There's a few new things. Adam even gets a very similar kart to what he gets in Turbo. Keep taunting us, Bandai. The game functions like you expect, race through laps, you can shoot at each other, win each cup, but because it's a copy of Mario Kart, there's no originality. It's just boring. The Fighting Edition game was way more entertaining to me. What's annoying? Bandai produced a fun side-scroller Car Ranger game at the same time. Can you just make a good PR side-scroller, please? I've played through most of the Power Ranger games out of curiosity. There's some that I didn't mention, like Samurai Mega Forces games. They're competent, but nothing to write home about. There's so few PR and Super Sentai games I can recommend people to play. Hopefully Battle for the Grid comes up with something great. We need more good PR games. Do you have fond memories of these games? What were your favorites? Which ones did you hate? New episodes Mondays. Next week, ways to fix Power Rangers Samurai.